Legend
Arcanine.
What's good, guys? Legend here, bringing you a quick discussion video. Usually I'm gonna upload like 2 videos a week, but I figured with link summoning getting so close to being a thing, I might as well give my 2 cents on the matter. Every other YouTuber has, so I'm just gonna tell you guys what I think about it. A little rundown of what's gonna happen, and mainly a discussion video because I hear a lot of people going back and forth saying that this will not slow the game down, and some people are even claiming that this will inherently speed the game up, which I just flat out disagree with. I will make my points in this video. I will tell you why I think link summoning is an overall good thing for the game and will slow the game down comparably to a snail's trail to what we've been seeing with these full boards on turn 1 and shit. So let's jump into it. Now, for all 2 of you out there who don't know what link summoning is the new mechanic being released with V-Rings and the new, basically, format of Yu-Gi-Oh! So, what it entails is a new extra deck monster type called Link Monsters. Now, with this, you have a new board. Let's see if I can't find it somewhere on here. I don't know if they have a diagram of the new play match. It does not look like they do, which is weird. You'd figure if you're on the wiki, you'd have a new diagram of the play match. But, so basically, what's gonna happen is, above the normal 5 monster card zones, you are going to have a new, extra deck monster zone, basically. And there will be one on either side, in between you and your opposing player, and the first player to summon an extra deck monster gets to choose which zone they take. Now, this is important because Link Monsters, and here is a picture of a Link Monster right here, as you can see, Decode Talker here. I'll get into what these arrows mean in a minute. Basically, you can only summon extra deck monsters to the extra deck monster zone unless you have a Link Monster. And when you have a Link Monster, if you see here, it has 3 orange arrows. What this enables you to do is summon extra deck monsters to wherever the arrows are pointing. So, if you have Decode Talker in your extra deck monster zone, it now opens up the bottom left and bottom right monster zone for you to summon even more extra deck monsters to. Now, also, if you see he has one on top here, this also opens up one for your opponent. So you have to be careful when playing these Link Monsters. Now, I don't know what this means if you play, let's say you have another Link Monster, and then you play Decode Talker in the bottom left. I don't know if this up arrow will apply, because there is no zone directly above his arrow. So we'll just have to see. I'm sure there are going to be plenty of rolling questions when these cards first come out. It's going to be a new experience. But for the basics, here are my points as to why I believe it'll slow the game down and make players think far more before they just go willy-nilly special summoning every fucking monster in their goddamn deck like we have been doing recently. So, the first thing that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, these take up slots in your extra deck. These will take a slot in your extra deck. So, without question, you are going to have less spaces in your extra deck. And in a meta where all 15 cards are super important, making it to where you have to have 2 or 3 Link Monsters is going to cripple almost every single extra deck in the game right now. Which, again, is going to make the game slower because you don't have as many outs. You don't have as many answers to problems when people bring them. It's going to make the game a lot more back and forth. You know, it's going to make it easier to counter top tier decks. We're going to be less likely to see tier 0 formats like with Necros or Dragon Rulers or fucking Zodiac. So I think that's one way that this will slow the game down. Another way is this inherently slows the game down because you just can't spam your extra deck. A lot of people think that this isn't going to make a big difference. It's going to be super easy to get these monsters out, and it's just not going to make a difference. My rebuttal to that whole bullshit is there is a negative correlation between the effectiveness of a combo and the amount of pieces in said combo. When bringing Leap monsters into this, you are just absolutely going to have to add several cards to every extra deck combo now. You have to add at least 2 to every single extra deck combo, which inherently makes them slower, and inherently makes them less efficient, and less likely to happen every time you need them. Which is the most important thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! is efficiency. If your combo, if you can't get the cards you need for your combo every game, or at least almost every game, your deck is going to have problems. Your deck just isn't going to be tier 1 in today's meta. Now, with Link Summoning, you're taking any extra deck combo that is 1 or 2 cards, and you're adding at least 2 cards to it, if not more. So for people who are saying this is not going to slow the game down, I just have trouble buying that. For people who are saying this isn't going to change the game much, I just do not think you're right. This is going to take all the things we know about combo making in Yu-Gi-Oh! And throw a monkey wrench in those ideals. You're talking about things that are adding cards to combos, closing out card zones, fucking just making it inherently more difficult. I've used that word a lot today. Inherently more difficult to play meta Yu-Gi-Oh! Like we know it. And yeah, you can go online and, oh, what's so-and-so's broken Link combos already, or blah blah blah. But with all of those, even the stupid summon beast, you know, that spell card that summons a bunch of beast tokens that lets you link, you're still adding 2 cards to a combo that could have been done by itself earlier. Like, in this format, that combo can go off without all those extra steps, all those extra cards you're gonna have to fill up in your main deck and put into your extra deck. People aren't seeing this. People just aren't talking about the effect it's gonna have on the logistics of the game. Yes, you can still do crazy combos in Yu-Gi-Oh! With this. No one's arguing that point. I'm arguing the fact it's going to make it less likely and harder for you to pull those crazy combos off. So, let's talk about some other changes before we get into the cards that this really, really affects, in my opinion. Really the biggest change besides the monster card zones is the pendulum zones. So for those of you who don't know, and I really hate that I didn't pull a graph up here, okay, here, sorry about the jump cut. I just pulled a graph up to show you what the field is gonna look like. Okay, so here are your 2, I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, but in the middle of the playmat, you see the 2 extra deck monster zones. Those are gonna be important. Those are where your extra deck monsters will start out. Now, if you notice something, immediately next to the deck and the extra deck zones, where you see where the 2 used to be just spell zones are, now your pendulum zones occupy the same space as your 1st and 5th spell card zone. This is huge for pendulum players. They basically just took pendulum summoning out back and shot it in the knee. Very, very, very intrusive to the pendulum mechanic. It's just gonna slow pendulum players down a lot, make it to where they have to sacrifice these 2 spell trap card zones. It's like an auto Yangzing Zhao, if you know what that trap card is. You're basically auto-locking 2 of your opponent's spell and trap card zones out without having to do anything if they're playing pendulums. which pendulum monsters were already weak to backrow destruction, like MST, Galaxy Cyclone, Twin Twister, blah blah blah. So this is just gonna weaken them more. I don't think this will be the end of pendulums, but I do think that this is gonna hinder them quite a bit, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. So yeah, that's what the field's gonna look like. And that's really all the changes to the rules that I care about. So we're gonna jump into cards that will be affected by pendulum, or not by pendulums, by the new rule switch. So the first big one, and I am honestly recommending going and picking this card up. It's called Senate Switch, and until this card, you know, until this new mechanic was announced, this thing was fucking trash. Unless you were playing like some offbeat alien deck or something, which, why the fuck are you even watching this video? Don't you have a rock to go with under or something? It says, once per turn during your main phase, you can move one monster on your side of the field to an adjacent unoccupied monster card zone. Until this new rule, this card was fucking useless. I mean, like, actually useless. But now people have figured out that you can extra deck summon a monster to the extra deck card zone and then move it, and then summon another extra deck monster to the extra deck card zone. Because the extra deck card zone is only for monsters summoned from the extra deck. So say you have a fusion monster in your graveyard, you can special summon that to the normal monster card zone. So what this allows you to do is basically get off another extra deck summon without having to have a link monster. So, and it's a continuous spell, so you can just pretty much, you know, once a turn do this and kind of make room. It's, again, slower, but I think the game will be slower when these cards come out, so I would pick up a couple of copies. They're starting to go up in price. People are starting to buy them, so I would buy them. Next up, Book of Moon. This card, okay, I don't think it'll go to 3. Okay, so, I don't know if I mentioned this, I don't think I did. Link monsters cannot be flipped face down. Well, in face down defense. I guess if you have that weird, allure, or what is it, stupid darkness card, or darkness approaches, that's it. If you have darkness approaches, then, yeah, it's darkness approaches. Yeah, discard 2 cards from your hand, then target one face-up monster on the field, change it to face down. Oh, no. Face down defense position? That's not the card I was thinking of. Huh. Well, whatever. There's a card that lets you flip a monster face down in attack, which I guess that would work on a Link monster. Link monsters can't be flipped face down, or can't be put in defense position ever, because they don't have a defense value. So, Book of Moon will not affect Link monsters. So, Book of Moon can't intrinsically be used to stop your opponent's combos. Can't flip the first Link monster down and, you know, kind of shut them out from extra deck plays that turn. Kinda shitty. Yeah, but I don't think this card will come back to 3, maybe 2. Because you could still disrupt your opponent with it. It's still a super useful card for everything that's not a Link monster. And from the looks of it, Link monsters aren't looking to be too powerful besides their effects to summon other monsters. They're not themselves the playmakers of the deck. They're just allowing you to make the plays of the deck. So I don't think this card will come back to 3. I still think it's just stupidly powerful, but the next, well, archetype. This whole archetype's fucked. Which I'm very sad about. This is my favorite fucking archetype in the game, and it's completely fucked. The Ghost Trick monsters. Okay, so I'm kind of personally salty about this one, but if you've never played Ghost Trick, first off, you're a blessed soul, because you've never had to play a Ghost Trick deck, and you should be very, very fucking thankful about that, because it's basically 20 minutes of watching your opponent not let you play Yu-Gi-Oh! But Ghost Trick's whole deal is affecting monster position. So it's basically flipping monsters face down and flipping themselves face down or face up. So like Yu-Gi-Oh! For example. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can change the monster that was destroyed to face down defense position, and if you do, it cannot change its battle position. So, permanent face down defense position, basically. That's pretty fucking powerful, honestly. Like, if we're being real, for a level 2 fucking, you know, level 2 nothing on stat line, it can permanently fuck an opponent's play up. However, Elite Monster can just run into this and not have any recourse. The whole Ghost Trick archetype's kind of like this. Most cards revolve around flipping your opponent's monsters face up and face down. Which, again, the whole quote-unquote peekaboo mechanic. So, this whole archetype is pretty much just fucked. And I am super, super fucking salty about that. So yeah, this video went a little longer than I wanted it to, but that's pretty much my closing thoughts. I think Link summoning is going to be overall healthy for the game. I think it's going to slow the game down, allow for more thoughtful plays, allow for more thoughtful deck building, allow for more skillful playing in general, because you're really going to have to be careful what you do. Misplays are going to happen a lot more often. Overall, it's going to be super healthy for the game. But if you don't think so, if you think this will somehow speed the game up, if you think people are just going to abuse the fuck out of it and make it another Synchro or XYZ summoning debacle where it just makes fucking filling your board up turn 1 super easy, let me know in the comments. This is a discussion video. I want you guys to give me your opinions and let us have a recourse in the comments so we can kind of, you know, work this out. Maybe you see it from a different angle. I just don't see it. Tell me what you think of the cards that I think will be affected. Again, this is a very short list of the cards that I think will be affected, of course. I didn't want this video to run too long. So, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you like the new video formats. I hope you like the new editing I'm putting in. I'm trying a lot harder to make my videos of better quality. Hope it shows. Yeah, you guys hit me up. Hit that sub button if you like it. Hit the bell icon if you want to get notified when I upload. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit, you know what to do. And I will see you guys later.